Hi legends, hope you're all having a fantastic day. I have a couple of things I would like to go through. As per the thumbnail, what is the most bullish scenario from an Elliott wave perspective that we could potentially enter into? So I haven't really shared that scenario. So today I just want to take some time and share the most bullish scenario. Then there's a slightly less bullish scenario, but still bullish nonetheless. And then there's the most conservative bullish scenario that I would like to share in today's live stream. Okay, so smash up the like for the alpha over here and the content. And remember, legends, that my tools that I use from a trading perspective is all down in the description. From an exchange perspective, trading, buying spot, futures trading, I like to use Bluffin. Large sign-up bonus when you use the link downstairs, and no KYC required. Also 𝗖𝗿𝗆 if you're from the European countries, where you can have a nice little on and off ramp for your cash. You can go and spend your profits in your Bitcoin. Okay, tools that I use is Tradingview, obviously, to do all of your beautiful analysis on, and then keep your VPN or your network secure by using a VPN. Protect your crypto, and also, go check out my partner in crime, Mr. Andy from Bitcoin Census. Right, legends, let's dive here right into the alpha. Let me say hi to the community before we dive in. Mr. Dev, welcome. Okay, welcome to the stream. Crypto Big Brains, as always. Let's go, devil. My XRP long is printing. Yes, I see XRP is not stopping for anything at the moment. And I will share with you guys what I'm loving, or what I'm loving. What I'm loving this what I love seeing on the structure here on XRP. Something that really it's exciting me, what I'm seeing here on the structure of XRP. Okay, I never thought that I would talk about XRP so many times. Okay, legends, you can see I've got a little structure drawn up here. Just want to play out a couple of scenarios. And I mean, from a day trading perspective, we long, we short, we bulls, we bears during the same time. I will go and zoom into the smaller time frames over here once I've done with the larger time frame analysis. Okay, as per the thumbnail, like I've just mentioned, I want to just discuss, well, if we are going insanely parabolic bullish here to the upside, okay, I know a lot of people are expecting at least $100,000 from Bitcoin. But I know from past experience, when people predict the bull cycle, they obviously they often underpredict, and when they predict the bear cycle, they also underpredict. So I mean, for the bear cycle, they predicted $10,000. And for the previous bull cycle, they predicted $100,000. We got about $68,000 during the previous bull cycle, and we got, $15,000 during the previous bear cycle. Okay, so everyone's always overshooting the targets, and I just want to put some realistic targets on the table today. Okay, I see social media is throwing around $350,000, $500,000, $1 million. Right, let's just be realistic and see where potentially these waves from a bullish perspective can take us if we continue the bull market here to the upside. Right, legends, I just want to put this music softer. I just want to actually delete that music if I can, but no, nonetheless. Right, legends, welcome. Smash up the like. Thanks for the XRP analysis last week. Link us. My pleasure. Colin, welcome to the stream. Ooh, Barathi, will BTC retest 60K? What is the probability? We'll go analyze that in a moment. Right, legends. I mean, quite a lot going on here, and let's start. Okay, let's start with the analysis over here. Legends, okay, from a larger time frame perspective, using basic, simple technical analysis, you can go and draw your support, resistance boxes over here, and then you basically have a range. Okay, you have the top of the range, you have the bottom of the range, and you have the middle of the range. Okay, simple. You can also go and use your fixed range volume profile. Okay, that makes the work a little bit easier for you, where you can see that these boxes more or less align with this range. Okay, but just using simple technical analysis over here, what I wanted to discuss is to say that you can see where we currently are. You can see the price of Bitcoin at the moment is struggling, okay, to break through this resistance. Right, And what you would like to see is, I mean, to break resistance, you want to see this. You want to see this price action. You want to see nice green volume kicking in, and you want to pierce it and potentially come back for a retest. We have not retested this area just as yet. Okay. So there's still the possibility that we can even pierce through here, but you want to see a retest, okay? You want to see a retest for continuation. Losing the resistance, okay, you're most likely coming to the second level. Right, but for now, we have to acknowledge, legends, that we are back inside the range at the moment. We had deviation, we had deviations, we had deviations, and a large deviation, and now we are back inside the range. Okay, alarms going off here. Right, legends, I would not disregard, okay? One scenario that I'm still keeping an eye on here is to say that, well, what if, you know, I've got a parallel channel sloping here to the downside, okay? Everyone is extremely bullish, right? And I think what will make people extremely bearish is that, can you imagine, what if we come to the top of this channel? We do not take the highs, okay? We respect the channel and we reject. And we lose this support, okay? And we start falling down, where everyone's going to look at this channel and think, oh my greatness, we're going back to the bottom, we're going to claim the low. But what if this is the wave, right, that takes us to higher levels, where we make the first lower high? This is the lower high that I'm waiting for to fill up my spot bags. I want to see some bullish CVD between these two pivots, okay? When you take a fib from the low to the high, I want to see us bounce inside that golden pocket, okay? This could be the move that's going to fool a lot of people saying that we're going down, okay? Only to then form that impulsive first wave here or third wave here to the upside. So just wanted to mention that's a scenario that I'm potentially also keeping an eye on. Right, legends, let's take all of this out the way and switch this off. Now, legends, what I wanted to discuss over here, okay, and I'll keep it as simple as I possibly can. I'm going to go into the 3-day chart, right, and just zoom out a little bit. And there are 3 bullish scenarios, okay, that I'm potentially keeping an eye on over here. Let's start with this scenario, bullish macro 2, this one. And I think from an 𝗖𝗍𝘆𝗽 perspective, this is the scenario that a lot of people are keeping an eye on at the moment. Okay, legends, for this scenario to play out, this has to be the low, okay? Otherwise, the scenario is invalidated. If we take the low, then a different scenario kicks in, okay? And I'll explain it in a moment. I know this looks very complicated with all the waves that I've counted in here, but just bear with me for a couple of minutes. Right, legends, this scenario is the second most bullish scenario that I have on the cards, where we have a 1, 2, 3 that is not finished. The 3 is not finished, which tells us we can still form impulses here to the upside to go and complete number 3, then have another long, boring sideways correction. I mean, it can do what it did over here, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then we have an explosive last 5th wave here to the upside that could potentially take us to $105,000, $110,000. And that is basically the mark that a lot of people are calling for. Okay, so this is the second most bullish scenario. The reason I'm saying, okay, this has to be the low for this scenario. And this is what a lot of people are hoping for at the moment, is to say that, well, if the bull run is going to continue from the low that we've made over here, okay, it has to be the low, because from a timing perspective, okay, the corrections needs to balance. So if I take the timing, okay, so everything works from a timing perspective as well. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your 4th wave is generally longer than your 2nd wave, which it is, okay? And if this wave had to continue any longer, then it's becoming too long from a balance perspective in comparison to this 2nd wave over here. So we can go and measure this out quickly, right? So let me zoom into the structure and say, time fib, how long did this correction last? So from the top to the bottom, we drag it to this top over here, and you can see we have just passed the 2 ratio. Okay, let me see if everyone can see that. I know it's very small. I tried to make the font bigger. Didn't want to really go a lot bigger. Okay, so we've just passed the 2 ratio. So you can now see between the 2 and the 3, this is where we made the low. So this correction, okay, is 2.5 times longer than this correction. And if it goes on any longer, the balance is out of whack, basically. Okay. So for this scenario to play out, this has to be the low because of the timing of this correction. Now, if we get a little bit of a fake out, and let's just play out the scenario, what if, okay? We have to play what if. What if this happens and we go and we tap that $50,000 level, $46,000 level? We basically find support inside of this zone or even in this zone. What if we range for a little bit longer? Then I would say this scenario is invalidated, and then we jump to this scenario. Okay, so let me go back. 3 is finished. Okay, let's take 5 out the way there. 3 is finished. We are still busy with a longer 4, and we only have 1 impulse left. So this is the, how can I say, this is the most conservative bullish scenario that I have. Okay, the lowest bullish scenario where we could potentially hit that $100,000, but we could also go as low as $80,000, $90,000 with this momentum here to the upside, which then says that this correction, okay, this correction, okay, is for this correction over here. Okay, when I then take a fib and I measure this correction and I place it on number 3, you can see that we haven't even hit the 1-to-1 ratio. So which means that if this is not the impulse here to the upside and this is not the low, and we still range inside here, I mean, we can even still go to the 2, which will then balance out this correction. And then this bullish scenario, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is still on the cards. Right, I hope you guys are following me so far. Okay, so legends, I guess the good news is everyone wants a little bit of good news. The good news is that this could potentially, for now, be the low, okay, for the most bullish scenario that I've just discussed, where number 3 is not finished. We're still going to make a bigger 5 here to the upside. But the bad news is we're still expecting a long 4th wave consolidation, which needs to balance out this 2nd wave. So this correction is for this correction, and this correction will be for this correction. Okay, I hope you guys are following me. Right, so let's take this out. Why you are all here, let's discuss the most bullish scenario that I have on the cards at the moment for Bitcoin is, let's switch it on. Right, okay. It's a 1-1-2 combo. And I think I need to zoom out here so you guys can see where it can go potentially. Right, so what we're looking at over here is a simple 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I can actually move 4 over there, 4 over there. Right, that can take us to $152,000. Right, and even higher. Okay, so the $152,000 I've purely just calculated on the 1.618, which is the 3rd wave target. You have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I'll show you on the 1 hour time frame. This scenario is actually playing out at the moment on the smaller time frames, and these scenarios play out on all time frames. Okay, so this is the most bullish case scenario that we have here for the price of Bitcoin. But what makes this bullish case scenario even more exciting is that you could arguably discuss that $133,000, okay, is potentially the minimum target, but you can go to the 2618. At 182, you can go to the 3618 at $232,000, because 3rd waves can be very explosive to the upside, and you need to wait for a consolidation, okay, that equals the length of the consolidation that we've just completed, and if not longer, to say, okay, now we're busy with the 4th wave. We can expect 1 more wave to the upside. Does that make sense, legends? You can also see when I zoom into the structure over here. Okay, look at the beautiful bounces on the 382. 1, 2, 382. Okay, 1, 2, 382. Right, so definitely a possibility for this scenario to play out. I'm not sure in which camp you guys feel you are leaning towards. But I mean, beautiful bounce 382, beautiful bounce 382. And if I take this channel that I've got over here as well, you can see, you know, we had a deviation below, we had a deviation above, and now we have tapped the channel to perfection on top. And this is where we're getting the bounce at the moment. Right. Let me know in the comments. Okay, 133K. Yes, and I mean, it can go absolutely insane. And I'm from this scenario's perspective, okay, $133,000 would be considered the third wave target. You can still have a longer consolidation and then go and complete the fifth wave target here at $150,000, $160,000. But the real question is, we never know how high the third wave can go because it loves the 618 targets. Okay, so I mean, this could be the conservative target, but it can go to 182, it can go to 232, and I mean, I rarely see Bitcoin surpassing the 3.618. Okay, so, but I mean, it can get really punchy and explosive depending on how much retail and money flows into the price of Bitcoin. Right. Cool, legends. Just wanted to highlight this most bullish scenario over here. I think where it also gets a little bit interesting for me is if I go onto the lock scale, right? Okay, and this is why I'm saying you have to always look at each scenario from a bullish and a bearish perspective. If I go onto the lock scale, just ignore the Elliott waves over here. We're simply looking at the channel. You can see how beautifully this channel has been respected from a logarithmic perspective. Where we broke out, we retested it, we struggled, we are now back inside the channel, and you can see where we are struggling at the moment. Price at the moment is struggling to break outside this channel. So that's what I'm saying. We are never out the woods. And I will always say that even if the price is pumping, we're never out the woods, because from an Elliott wave perspective, there is always a bullish and a bearish case scenario. Okay. I think at the end of the day, you need to choose which scenario carries the higher probabilities. And for now, the bullish scenarios carry higher probabilities from a macro perspective still over the bearish scenarios. So the most bearish scenario that I do see here still at the moment is if we fail to get acceptance back outside of this channel, we could come down here to the 50% mark, or we could come down here to the bottom of the channel before we have the next explosion to the upside. Okay. Which will then mean, okay, that the double 1-2 combo is out the window, and this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. Bull market done at $100,000, and we're going to go into the bear market. Okay, so a lot, I suppose there's a lot riding on this low here at the moment. Okay, and now what we can do is we can go and zoom into this price action to see, well, is there potential? Is there potential for upside over here? Okay, and what do we need to look out for to confirm bearish or bullish continuation? Right, hope this makes sense, legends. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? You guys are very quiet today. Okay, don't see a lot of comments coming through. Smash up the like for the education over here, or the analysis and the alpha that I've prepared here for you guys. Right, let's go on to the 1 hour. All things are possible. Yes, Mr. Dev. I mean, unfortunately, the price cannot be predicted. And if you could predict the price, you would be a billionaire in a couple of days. Okay, you would just 100x whatever you've got every single day, because you know exactly where the price of Bitcoin is going to go. Right, legends. Now, during my update this morning, I spoke about a possible, okay, remember the 1-2 scenario that I've just shared with you guys. Look at this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If I take a fib, like I've done with a macro scenario, if I take a fib retracement from the bottom of 1, 2, you can see exactly where we got rejected at the 1.618. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, but it's never guaranteed that this is a third wave. This can also be an A, B, C, and we're going to smack back down and come and claim the lows. You just never know. That's why it's so important to always look for proof of support, proof of resistance. Look at CVD. What story is CVD telling you? Is the absorption of longs or shorts in the market? Does the market structure? Do we break market structure? Okay, whatever indicator, RSIs, MACDs, whichever indicator you use to provide you proof of support and proof of resistance, that's why those indicators are so important. Okay, because you just never know. So what we want to see here at the moment from a bullish perspective is if we are forming a fourth wave over here, where this is a larger 1, 2, 3, or a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, doesn't really matter, 1, 2, 3, you still want to see a fourth wave and you want to see us claim this high again. Okay, we need to claim this high again to give me a 5-wave structure, and then when we have the correction, okay, maybe not that deep. Let me just redo this. When we have a correction, I'm going to be that person that takes a fib from the lows to the highs, potential highs. We don't know where that high is going to be at the moment. And I switched off all my things over here. 618, 786, 50%, 0.8. Let's just switch on all the levels. Okay. I will be scooping up Bitcoin inside of this area, especially if I find proof of support. Bullish CVD building up as we have the retracement to the downside. Okay. Right. So legends, this is kind of what I'm seeing here on the 1 hour time frame. Okay. I'm also very aware when I zoom into the 5-minute time frame, looking at this structure, okay, okay, when I zoom into the 5-minute time frame, this is the trade that I gave this morning on our Legends community. Okay, if you'd like to join, first link down in the description. Okay, using my simple trend line strategy, I was here on the 5-minute time frame. We were taking the dump here to the downside, and I said, Legends, I don't exactly know where the bounce is going to happen, but from a simplicity perspective, go and take a trend line. Okay, let's track the momentum here to the downside. And that's the momentum that we track. Let me just put it back here on regular. I can see it's not on regular. Okay. Right, Legends, this was the momentum that we tracked. Beautiful, beautiful trend line. Okay. And then we broke out. And I said, Legends, you never know. Because it looks like we've potentially claimed a high or made a high over here. You never know where the price is just going to do this. You never know, okay? And that's why I said when you apply the one-line trend strategy, especially when price is slowing down, the momentum is slowing down, you need to take profits when you take a fib from the low or from the high to the low. Okay, you can see exactly these were our profit-taking areas. You play the breakout, you have your stop below the low, you start taking profits at the 382, 50% fib level. We even smashed the 618. This is usually where I close my position. And now we're here at the 786, and it looks like we want to go higher. So what I'm kind of seeing that if, okay, and I do see, and the reason I think we could potentially go and claim the high is that I do spot bullish CVD between this pivot and this pivot, right? Let's go to CVD here quick. On the 15-minute time frame, you can see it very clearly, bullish CVD on yellow, okay, which tells me there's a potential to come and claim the high there once again, right? Okay, legends, so let's just play out the scenario here quick, is to say that there's definitely a possibility if this is the high for now, okay, this is the end of the third wave structure, that can definitely still create a B flat or a flat corrective structure where you have an A, okay, B shouldn't go that low. Sorry, legends, let me just do this. Let me not confuse anyone. A, B, okay, where you take the high, so you have a B flat, where you take a fib extension from the highs to the low that we've made, you drag it across, you reverse it, and you guessed it. I have spoken about this many times during my live streams, is that this is your rejection area for B flat, where you take the, okay, let me just grab my pen back here, where you take the highs, you make people extremely bullish, you take the highs, you reject inside the B flat target zone, 1.236, 1.382, and then you go and you make a C wave to the downside, which is an A, B, C. And we have actually made this structure inside of the structure, and I'll show you now. Okay, so let's take the scribble out the way so you can see exactly what I mean. Let's go back onto the 1 hour time frame. And I'll show you guys the structure actually played out already, right? I can see it so clearly over here. Okay, here we go. A, B, C, flat. You take the high. Okay, and if I haven't measured this out yet, but if I take a fib from the high to this low, drag it across. Okay, we actually didn't even hit the B flat targets, but I mean anything above the 1 is considered a B flat target. It's just not allowed to hit the 1.618. Okay, so these were your B flat targets, right? But anything above the 1, the 1.0.5, the 1.05 is also considered a B flat target. So this basically, okay, is B flat targets. You're just not allowed to hit the 1.618, where we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is why I'm counting 1 over here. 1 is over here, and 2 is over here. I'm not counting the B flat, the corrective structure, where this is an A, B, C. Okay, you take the lows, you take the highs. That's what you refer to as a flat corrective structure, where it takes the highs and the lows, and then it continues momentum to the upside. And this is exactly what potentially could play out over here, is when I just take all the scribble here out the way. Okay, clean this up a little bit. Okay, let's go. Okay, where if this is the end, and that's what I'm saying, I will be interested in a swing failure from these highs over here. Okay, where you have a zigzag in a B here to the upside and you get acceptance back below the highs. That to me would be a shorting opportunity where we could come and create a C wave here to the downside. Right, and only once this structure is complete will I be able to calculate exactly where the C wave can go. Okay, perhaps it's going to find support here at this consolidation area, also a 50% fib level over here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, just need to put this where it's supposed to be. I mean, we don't know where the high is going to be, right? Okay, but you guys get the picture. Another corrective structure is also when I take a fib, take this out the way. Okay, here on the 1 hour time frame, also B waves are very difficult to trade because they have so many targets. When you take a fib from the high to the low over here, you drag it across the 0.88. Okay, B waves love the 0.88. So if it's not a flat where it takes the high, it can also reject here by the 0.88. And generally, when you tap the 0.88, any move away from it is either a C wave or a Y. Okay, corrective structure to the downside. Right, so we could also potentially be building a bull flag, okay, where the Y wave doesn't take the low over here. Right, but you guys get the structure. Oh, you guys get the picture over here. Right, let me know, smash up the like, let me know what you guys think. The reason I think we can still go a little bit higher is because I do not spot any bearish CVD at the moment. Okay, went to 0, flash crash, Diana, 2 minutes. I'm not sure if Bitcoin can go to 0 in 2 minutes, right? There's just too much liquidity in the market. Right, legends, hope this makes sense. Okay, so, I've discussed a lot of Elliott wave theory over here. I've taken you guys through corrective structures, what I'm looking at. How do you trade this? Okay, that's always the question. 𝗬𝗚𝘆𝗽, I'm here to make money. I want to trade this. Okay, like I told you guys, I don't like to give signals, especially not here with a larger audience, because people risk way more than what they can afford to lose. And then when they stop losses or they get liquidated, I get nasty messages and things like that. But when they make money and they tell me that they've paid off their student loans and I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, I also get a bit concerned because I'm like, yes, how much money did you trade to pay off your student loans? How much leverage did you use? Anyways, it gets scary. It really gets scary out there. Okay, legends. So what I'm looking for from a trading perspective, as you can see here on the 5-minute time frame, beautiful trade here to the upside that I've explained to our legends community this morning. Okay, played the breakout. This is how you trade it. Just know where to take profits. Okay, 1-line trend strategy. Now what you want to see is I'm now going to track this momentum here to the upside. Okay, So let's track the momentum here to the upside. And the most obvious trade is, I mean, if you have to wait, if you are that person that's going to wait for the trend to break to the downside before you short, you're going to have a late entry. Because if the price does this, okay, I'm going to enter over here. I know where to put my stop loss because, you know, the price action shows me where to put the stop loss. I will enter as we get the acceptance back below the high, not as you are pumping, legends. You do not. I have a target box. We're definitely rejecting over here. Price is pumping. I'm going to be that person that nails the entry over there. I'm going to nail it. Okay. You enter over there and price just goes and it liquidates your account. Okay. No. That's not how you trade. Okay. You need to know, like I always say, the 3 W's. You have to know the 3 W's. So if I take a long position, I have to know why I'm entering the trade. Tick number 1. I need to know where to put my stop loss. Tick number 2. So if you are shorting the pump over here, you do not know where to put your stop loss. So you should not enter the trade. But if we're pumping and we fall over and we get acceptance back below the lows over here, then I know, okay, I know where to put my stop loss above the wick. And you need to know where to take profits. Okay, so 3 W's. This is what, where to take profits, why am I entering the trade, where is my risk management? Right. Hope this makes sense, legends. So how I would be trading the scenario is, like I've just explained, swing failure pattern from the highs. Okay, if you're late to the party, if you're like really late to the party, you can wait for the break of this trend because you might get this. Then you lose the trend, you retest it, and you continue momentum here to the downside. You play the breakout over here. You know where to put your stop loss. So purely, I'm just educating over here. I'm not trying to give signals. I'm just saying this is what I look for when I trade. Okay. Right, legends, hope that makes sense. Okay. We can go and have a look at XRP in a moment. Okay, I just want to see CVD. Okay. You see, I would have liked, with this momentum here to the upside, legends, I would have liked to see CVD move up here. Bearish CVD. I don't see any bearish CVD at the moment. These highs are still far away from white and yellow to be taken. And also during this structure here to the upside, I don't see any bearish CVDs at the moment, okay? The only CVD that I do see that's bullish is between this pivot and this pivot, which tells me there's a possibility to claim the high, where you can see yellow has formed bullish CVD. Right, so be careful because the price might break the highs, retest it as support, and continue the momentum here to the upside. Okay, it's never easy in trading, but it's good risk management that keeps us in the game. Right, legends, let's go through some comments over here. We appreciate the TA, Mr. Dev. Thank you so much. Looks like a possible ascending wedge. On which time frame? Okay. This was a double 1-2s. Really, they always look like ascending wedges to the upside. And this is why most patterns only have like a 70% hit rate, okay, success rate, is that when you look at this structure, for example, okay, that looks bearish. You're forming a bearish pennant. But from an Elliott wave perspective, I know there's always a possibility that you're forming a 1-2, 1-2, bam, explosion here to the upside, okay, where you could have played this breakout here as well. But I mean, from a bearish pennant perspective, there's also, depending on what the structure looks like in the inside, there's always that possibility that you fall down, okay? 70% of the time, 60% of the time, depending on what the hit rate is for the specific pattern that you are playing. Right, legends. So, remember, I use Bluffin to do all of my trading. At the moment, love it at the moment, 80K bonus, no KYC. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. Down in the description, you can also follow my copy trades. I am being very conservative with the copy trading. I just want to put it out there. I'm not, placing trades left, right, and center on the copy trading account. I'm being responsible. So the gains are small, but gains nonetheless. There will be losses along the way, but as long as the gains are bigger than the losses, that's the idea. Right, legends. Now, okay, to close this out over here, if this is the low, okay, if this is the low, as I explained on the macro scenarios, whether it's a double 1-2 here to the upside like we're seeing over here, can you see this structure is now played out on the macro that I've just highlighted it as well, or could potentially play out on the macro as well. If this is the low for now, and we are going to go and claim the all-time highs and even go to higher levels, this structure, okay, has to be at least a 5-wave structure here to the upside. So, I mean, we have many ticks. We're back inside the range. We've broken trend lines. It looks like a successful swing failure patterns. It looks like the bulls are back in the house, right? What I would like to see is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to see a 5-wave structure, okay? Then I would say, okay, the retracement makes more sense to me, because if we are, okay, just kind of smack back down from where we are, maybe we claim this high and we just smack back down. This can also be a 3-wave structure, A, B, C, okay, and you smack back down. Not what we want to see. I think what does decrease the probabilities for impulses to the downside is if I go into the 4-hour time frame, okay, not guaranteed, but it does decrease the probabilities to the downside, is that a lot of people were looking at this structure as a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, or even a 1, 2, because some of the exchanges didn't take this high, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a 1, 2, 3, 4. And okay, so the point that I'm trying to make over here is, if this is a 4th wave here to the upside, let's say this is a 1, 2, 3, and we're still expecting a 4 and a 5 here to the downside. This retracement has retraced a little bit too deep. If I take a fib from the high to the low, you can see that we've tapped the 0.618, which is usually regarded as an invalidation for a 4th wave, okay? Or maybe invalidation is a strong word. It lowers the probabilities. Okay, it's not an invalidation, it lowers the probabilities. You want to see the 4th wave at the 550%, 382. Okay, so if we reject it inside of this box, for example, I would have said big possibility that we can still go and make a 5th wave here to the downside. So for now, the structure looks good. For now, based on the price action that we see today, the structure looks good. Right, we have to tap some probabilities that decrease for lower scenarios at the moment. Now I want to see that 5-wave structure to the upside. Right, legends, let me just sip some water over here. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, we appreciate the TA, Mr. Dev. Thank you so much. Very good insight. It makes sense. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Manuel, Master from Africa. Nice to see you again. Can you do Solana? Okay, I'll go have a look at some altcoins in a moment. I'm not sure if you guys saw my tweet on Twitter or even my post that I did this morning on YouTube about 𝗞𝗐. Let's go and discuss 𝗞𝗐 quick. I wanted to discuss 𝗞𝗐 yesterday and we ran out of time. Okay, 𝗞𝗐. As per my update, right, keeping the analysis extremely simple, and you know, and most of the times less is more. Okay, I'm here on the 3-day chart with 𝗞𝗐. Just to show everyone, let the price action load up. We had a massive pump that's coming here from the bottom. This looks basically like a bull flag. Okay, it also looks like a let me find my bearings, a WXY corrective structure over here. And for 𝗞𝗐, like I've said with XRP as well, okay, for 𝗞𝗐 to have massive bullish momentum here to the upside and even a potential to come and claim this high, okay, at $3, give or take $2.9, right? What you would like to see, what we are starting to get here at the moment, is that you can see when I pull a weekly profile, okay, for this consolidation area that we've been in, you can see that we had a deviation below the value area low. And now we are back inside. So I would like to see some daily candles, even a weekly candle, close above this resistance, which we are now potentially flipping into support, right? I want to see us break out. I want to see a retest. That's where I will be interested. And then obviously the breakout to the top of the range at $1 again. Okay, so things for now, looks good on 𝗞𝗐. I do have a clear invalidation, which is quite far away. If 𝗞𝗐 takes this low over here, then there's a lot of bearish scenarios that comes into play as well. Like I've explained with you guys on XRP. Remember XRP? Okay. Remember? Right? Very similar decision moment here for the price of XRP. When I zoom out into the structure, let's go here onto the weekly time frame. Just make it nice and compact. Okay. Let's do this. It looks very messy. Right, let's do this. Okay, XRP looks like it is forming an A, B, C, D, E corrective structure. Invalidation, clear. You do not want to go below the C wave because then it invalidates this bullish scenario you see, and it looks like a bull flag over here. Right, clear invalidation. And I said, guys, we are approaching decision point for XRP, because if you lose C point over here, there's a lot of bearish things, or there's bearish scenarios that kick in from an Elliott wave perspective. So you really do not want to claim the C point over here. So it looks like it's decision time for XRP. And a lot of you were following me on the stream, and some of you, and I said, if you want to trade this, zoom out onto the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame and go track the momentum. Okay, let's go back onto regular over here, right? Track this momentum here to the downside. And some of you played this breakout, beautiful breakout where you broke out of resistance. Okay, and what I do like now about the price of XRP here at the moment is that we are forming a 5-wave structure. This was a little bit of a concern of mine, is to say that we have 1, 2, 3, and I was like, if it's a 3-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to start falling down, I'm not buying. But now I can see that we have formed a 5-wave structure, and I mean the 5th wave can still continue. It can be very explosive. Right? But because we formed a 5-wave structure on XRP, this is what I'm waiting to see on Bitcoin. Any retracement for me will be a buy the dip opportunity. Okay, obviously always with good risk management, because you never know whether your analysis is correct or wrong, and that's why you still need to apply good risk management depending on your trading strategy. Right, so I don't mind, legends, and I guess this is the point that I'm trying to drive across, is that when I see a break of the trend, definitely there's money to be made. Okay, you're playing the momentum to the upside, you know where to take profits. But from a spot perspective and a long-term investment perspective, or if you want to build a bigger swing position to the upside, I don't mind sitting on my hands while this happens, because I'm looking for certain things to play out to give me confidence that now, because we have a 5-wave structure, it increases the probabilities that if we do have a retracement, the probabilities are high that you can get a massive 3rd wave explosion here to the upside. And I want to be inside the 3rd wave, because that 3rd wave, legends, let me, I don't even want to go and work that out, but it can be massive here to the upside. I mean, I have seen people predict a $5 XRP, but I mean the market cap is extremely large. So for that amount of money to flow into XRP, I think is going to suck the liquidity out of everything else, right? Everyone wants a $5 or $10 XRP, but people need to realize that the market cap needs to really get some inflow of cash in order to make that happen. Okay, so legends, right, for now XRP is pumping, and this is basically the point that I wanted to drive across here on 𝗞𝗐 as well, is we are at a critical level over here. Here's the invalidation. If you lose the invalidation, you're going down. Okay, you want to stay above here. We currently have acceptance back inside the range. So for now, for me, 𝗞𝗐 looks good to start nibbling and building long-term spot positions. No financial advice. I can only tell you guys what I am doing with good risk management. Okay. Right. And if you'd like to take these trades, I use Bluffin. Okay. I also use Bybit for my larger positions. I use Bybit, and from a scalping perspective, 𝗞𝗐 is great because they have the lowest fees. But you have to KYC with these exchanges. With Bluffin, you don't have to KYC. Right, legends. Makes sense. Master. Right, I've done. Thanks, 𝗬𝗍𝗿. Any insight about CME gap? Yes. So, I mean, I don't trade CMEs, to be honest with you guys. I know that there is a CME gap here somewhere. There's a CME gap here somewhere. I can't remember where it is, okay? I do have the Bitcoin pair for the CME gap, so I'm not going to go look for it right now. But there's definitely a possibility that depending on how the structure finishes, okay, if we come back down and I take a fib from the lows to the highs, that CME gap could potentially be inside of the golden pocket that I plan to load up. So you close the CME gap depending on where it is, and then you get the bounce back to the upside where this is then a 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, I mean, CME gaps don't always get filled. I know there's CME gaps at $9,000. There's CME gaps all over the show that's never been filled, right? Okay. Double top for BTC on 15 minutes. Yes, let's go here on the 15 minutes. Right, I want to see us take that high because remember, where did we get rejected? Okay, at the 0.88. So this is also a rejection area for a B wave. So if this is the top of the impulse, and this looks very three-wavy, or yeah, I mean the A wave does look, you could arguably say, is a 5-wave structure. B waves are typically 3-wave structures. This is a rejection area for a B wave as well. It loves the 0.88 where you can come and create a C wave here to the downside. Okay, but based on CVD, I don't see any weaknesses yet. So there's definitely a possibility of claiming the highs for a swing failure pattern. Okay. It also increases probabilities when you tap the 0.88 that you could have a retracement up until the 618 and then claim the highs, or just claim it from where you are. Right. Legends, I think I have discussed all of that. Filecoin. Filecoin looks really, really good. Okay. I'm here on the daily time frame with Filecoin. I'm not sure if you guys are Filecoin lovers or AR lovers. I love them both. I do have them both in my spot bags. I would like for Filecoin, it looks for now that, you know, we've had a pretty decent correction here to the downside. We bounced here on the 786, got acceptance back above. Okay, just tracking this momentum, and for now it looks promising. Okay, if I go into the 1 hour time frame, just want to make sure that I'm not on logarithmic, put myself back on regular. Let's just do this. Okay, I just want to see if there isn't another trend. Oh, we've already broken this trend. Okay, if you want to catch the breakout before the breakout, that's the one. That was the one. Okay, this is the larger trend that I've just shown you on the daily time frame. So I mean, if you want to catch the breakout before the breakout, this was the breakout that you needed to catch for potential move here to the upside. So I mean, legends, I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of altcoins are showing some strength here to the upside. Bitcoin just needs to play ball, okay? Because this could all be a bunch of fake outs. We never know, you know, with Bitcoin. But the alts are really looking good. Also, DOT, it's breaking a major downtrend here to the downside. I want to see us close above. I want to see some daily candles close above the weekly point of control over here. Then I'm going to be very bullish on DOT. Veracity, it's broken the trend and it's just continuing here to the upside. I do have a trade open on Veracity. I have a trade open on Dogecoin. I've played this breakout here on Dogecoin. Okay, catching the breakout before the breakout happens. I did take a little bit of profits over here just to cover some fees and things, but I'm leaving some of the position open. I want to see if we break out, retest, and continue the momentum here to the upside. Right. TA on ETH, please. Ethereum. Unfortunately, legends, I have run out of time. So I will look at ETH tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you guys enjoyed the alpha. Please smash up the like. On your way out, subscribe for future notifications. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers for now.